In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 7, the season 1 finale of The Old Man. So we finally made it after all these episodes, and what is going to happen in this season finale? Well, it was a nice, slow-going, story-driven based series. This is season 1, and I've said before that season 2 is happening. Now, Zoe is out of the picture at the beginning of this episode. Now, the reason I say that is because Dan doesn't want her to get involved in this thing. I was so happy when he said, I need you to go back home, do your thing, because Zoe, for me, and a character in this is nothing more than dull and nothing, doesn't move the story forward at all. But she wants to try and convince herself to join Dan in this so-called adventure. Nope, Dan says no, do your thing, go back home. Great. So Dan and now Harold must go and save Angela or Emily now that she was kidnapped by Waters and Julian. And, they're all... it's interesting how certain things happen in this. And I understand why people didn't like this series, because it's just talking, it's nothing happening. There's an action scene, there's a few big action scenes in this season finale, which is interesting and good. And then we take a turn. We get the story of the aspect of Dan and Harold speaking in the car. Listen, putting these two actors together in one scene is great. You would never think that they would be in a scene together, but they elevate each other to an extension where John Lithgow works off Jeff Bridges so well, and Jeff Bridges really works well off of John Lithgow. The characters are really, really fun. Now, there is another twist in this whole aspect of what's happening. So Dan has to go save his daughter, and Harold's like, I wanted you to kill Hamzat for a reason, now it's coming back to bite us in the ass. He's like, I don't fucking understand what you're doing. He's like, if I could read your mind, I understand. And Dan's like, no, you don't understand, because she's my daughter, we gotta get her back. So Dan and Harold evade the police, evidently, that they're getting the escort from, and they go and they find that Waters is dead because they were ambushed by someone. This lady that just stops right in front of the van and she shoots everybody, and then she takes Angela or Emily, whoever that is. And then we get the story of Dan telling Harold, okay, I needed you to get these plane tickets 30 years ago, but we weren't the only ones on that plane. Hold on, wait 1 second. What do you mean? Harold's like, what are you talking about? There was someone else with you? So when Dan and Abby left, Dan was supposed to kill Hamzat right then and there. But Dan couldn't go through with it because as Abby was leaving, she grabbed her daughter, and, who is Parwana, and they left. And then Dan raised this little girl. Come to find out, Faraz Hamzat's biological daughter is Angela, or /Emily. Yeah, there's another revelation right there. But Faraz Hamzat is slowly, in a way, deteriorating in health, and you can tell he's slowly dying. But he's happy that his daughter is back. So all this aspect of what this revenge rivalry is between Dan Chase and Faraz Hamzat wasn't about Abby at all. It was about seeing his daughter again, and Dan taking Faraz Hamzat's daughter away from him. Really interesting revelations, and the way the aspect was and how it was delivered was really, 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 really good. I did like that. What I didn't like was how it was delivered. Okay, now does Parwana, now who is the real name of Angela, does she know that Hamzat is actually her father and not Dan Chase? Or is she going to recognize Dan Chase as her real father because he raised her? You know what I mean? The aspect of who the real father, not the real father is. It's all that interesting aspect to it. And then the two of them, Dan and Harold, are just, leave their car that they stole evidently and then walk off, and it's the last shot of the two old men at an airfield walking toward a plane. And it's not clear where they're exactly going, but you assume that they're bound to go where Parwana is to get her back. So that's the end of season 1. So we know season 2 is gonna happen. Now, what's gonna happen with season 2? Very interesting series. Like I said, what I did like was the dialogue aspect. The writing was really good. People might find it boring, but with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow in this, it really made it work. The character of Zoe, played by Emmy Brenneman, was not needed at all. Do not bring this character back in season 2 because it will really slow it down a lot. Detective Waters. Okay, we saw him kind of shot, laid dead. All right. Where's Julian? We don't know where Julian is. Detective Waters, is he dead? That's it. His character, another waste, you know? Two characters were a waste, that's fine. Two characters we didn't care about in this series. We only cared about Dan, Harold, and Angela, and Hamzat, and Abby. And that was it. And then Morgan Boat, the, Joel Grey's character. The whole aspect of the show was interesting and fun. The actuality of finding out what this whole idea and plot for Faraz Hamzat was really, really interesting. And another eye-opening, episode where it's like, wow, that happened. You go, holy shit, like what kind of person is Dan Chase? Not only that, what's going to happen now in season 2 with Faraz Hamzat, Dan, and John, and the character that John Lithgow plays of Harold Harper? Will there be new characters introduced? What's going to happen with, the idea of these two are old men aging. They can't fight. It's like a John Wickish kind of thing, but it doesn't work in this kind of TV show. From the very first few episodes, it was great. We understood the aspect of Jeff Bridges. It slowed down a little bit when we got introduced to the character of Zoe. The mysterious aspect of who Angela and Emily was really interesting. Harold Harper being there for her too. Him being out of the loop for 30 years and being thrust back into it because Dan is, doing what he's doing. And Faraz Hamzat just wanting to see his daughter once again. His biological daughter, and does she know that that's the father? Yeah, that's her father. It's really interesting. It's really great. For me, the entirety season 1 gets 3 out of 5 stars. I actually did enjoy it a lot, but like I said, the character of Zoe brought it down, and the season finale was a little bit wonky, and Detective Waters brought it down a little bit, so that's why I got 3 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 7, the season 1 finale of The Old Man. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the whole entirety of season 1? Did you like the acting? What was your favorite character? Who was your least favorite character? And I'm pretty sure I know who everyone is going to pick. And what do you think is going to happen in season 2 now? A lot of things can happen. And let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And let me know what rating you would give season 1 and what you think should have been done better with the character development and the story. Let me know in the comment sections below about all the questions I just asked. And thank you all for tuning into my episodic weekly review of The Old Man. I'll see you all in season 2, and I'll see you all in the next review video.